Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. I'm Chris McGee, joined by Mike Bresnahan, James Worthy, Robert Horry. I got Allie Clifton joining here just a little bit. We'll have Trudell work in the locker room. Lakers go to 0-5 in the preseason, but the most important thing that we've been waiting for is we got to see the big three, Russ, LeBron, and AD, together for the first time here in the preseason. James, as you watched it, especially in that first quarter, visually, how did it look to you? What were some of the things you saw?
It's about to sneeze. I'm always supposed to go to Rob.
Rob, go for it, Rob.
It looked pretty good. We finally wanted to see the big three. We got a chance to see him. I thought AD continued to be explosive. I thought LeBron was exceptional the way he was going through the hole and being aggressive. Russell showing that, I think he had, a good game where he was in sync with the rest of the team. So they showed a little bit of what we hope to see here after this Sacramento game. So I was happy with, they didn't win the game, but, I was happy with what I saw from those three at least.
I think if some people watch our show, they're probably going to say, why you keep saying big three when it's almost a big four? Because Carmelo Anthony, we sometimes forget about him.
Yeah.
He had 13 points, 9 limited minutes, and I think he's going to be a key factor. And he looked really good with the big three, and so I think that's going to be a key. If he's able to stay in shape and figure out his role with it, that's going to be – we're going to basically have a big four.
I agree, because I do feel like he's kind of flown under the radar. I think where he is in his career, he's a guy that's not going to play the kind of minutes that probably LeBron, AD, and Russ are. And everyone kind of has talked about the fit with Russ, but Carmelo has fit in really well. I'm glad you brought that up. What did you see from the three tonight, though?
I was watching Russ really carefully, and for the first quarter and a half, it's like, okay, some good with the bad. And then towards the end of the second quarter, almost back-to-back plays, really impressed by what he did. He hit a shot, a three-pointer from up top, then he hit one, a two-pointer, kind of in the middle of the free throw area. And then he fed Carmelo, your guy, Rob, for a nice three on the left side. Carmelo missed it, but kind of like back-to-back plays. It's like that's what Russ can do for this team. Not like he's a great three-point shooter, but it was good to see him hit one up top. But just he can mix it up so many different ways. You have to respect the mid-range, and when you start respecting that, then he can find people in the corner like he found Carmelo.
And I think you guys share the same sentiment, at least sitting here talking to you guys over the last couple weeks, as Stu. Bill asked him at the end of the game about Russ, LeBron, and AD, and he said they just need more time together. I like what I see, but it's just going to take some time, and the more they play together, the better it's going to be. And I know you agree with that for sure. And obviously, listen, turnovers, Rob, are going to happen, especially when timing is off and you're learning new players. LeBron had 6 tonight or whatever. Russ had 5. That's actually coming down for him. But just more like, you can tell those terms. He thinks somebody's coming to level the ball. They're not. He thinks the guy's cutting. So I think you clean that up as the season goes on.
I think, for me, I was looking at, we had a little pregame talking about Russ's turnovers, and I saw a couple of those turnovers weren't his fault. I know the one in the corner where Bazemore should have stayed in the corner, he came out, and that's not his fault. That's that's one of the things, getting to know each other, because you're used to guys, hey, if I'm driving, stay in the corner because I know where you are. And that can be adjusted. Those are simple things that would cause 2 to 3 turnovers that's coming in Russ's hand out of his pocket. But I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about them getting more time together with the guys like Bazemore, not the big three. Bazemore, Malik Monk, and the crew that's going to be the most important for them to succeed during the season.
And James,
break immediately. So hopefully, they'll get more into that. I also think they're going to be looking at some video, like Rob stated. Guys don't know quite where to go. They're not dropping to the level of the eyesight. So they'll look at video and they'll say, well, look, when I'm coming down the lane, this is where I'm looking. So I think they'll get some of that in as well.
I kind of look at that first quarter and I write notes after that first quarter, and I look down and it's like Lakers playing fast, 32-24 after one. They're playing defense as well. So you could tell that energy to come out, Brez. A little more focus on the defense because of where it's been in the preseason. First time they're all playing together, and they were getting out in transition.
Yeah, transition was pretty good for them tonight. I love some of AD's finish finishes on the break in particular. Had a couple alley-oop dunks. Good to see him really active out there on offense. And he's starting to collect the defensive stuff too. A couple steals, a couple block shots. The stuff that we missed from AD last year because he missed half the regular season and pretty much half the playoff series too. So good to see him back hustling, falling into the crowd, whatever he was doing out there. I felt like he had a very complete game. He was really good in the restricted area, guys. He was unstoppable down low.
I absolutely agree with you, Brez. I mean, he came to play. He's ready for the season, and he showed us that in the games that he's played. He passes the eye test physically. I know you guys talked about that a couple weeks ago heading into the preseason. He's motivated. Rob James, Brez, I truly believe he wants to be that guy that everyone says is the best two-way player in the league. He wants to be that guy.
I know he wants to be because he transformed his body. That's a true sign of a guy coming into this year determined to make a mark, determined to say, hey, you know, I can be MVP of this league, and I can be MVP on a team with Westbrook and LeBron, and that's what his whole mindset has to be. You have to go in this year and say, you know what, I'm gonna show everybody's league what I can do. You know, you think Giannis Antetokounmpo did his thing, I can do exactly what he do, but more because I can shoot threes and I'm a better free throw shooter. So I'm hoping he have a year like Giannis.
You know, when you watch a guy play big game, when he hovers around the three-point line and he's not really attacking and he's not maybe getting boards, you can tell he's maybe playing it safe. And that kind of a guy can kind of coast through the preseason. I just want to get to the finish line healthy, and I'm ready.
About me?
Robert Horry style. Robert Horry styles. Big Shot knows what we're talking about. That was not AD. Not in this game. Going to the hole, looking for fouls, getting to the free throw line, looking at dunks, not worrying about shoulders or anything like that. I mean, listen, we're all like, be careful, but AD is not thinking about that. He knows, as Rob said, that his body is stronger.
He knows he's one of the top 5 elite players in this game. And he wants to be the greatest. Now, he's won a championship, came in under LeBron's tutelage, but he's seen Giannis, he's seen other guys, and now it's his turn to be the greatest. It's his time. You know, I remember when, you know, Pat Riley told Magic in 1987, I think, when Magic was MVP, he said, look, Kareem is still our guy, but we need you to do more. We need you to score more. And that's when Magic went absolutely berserk that year and won. Same thing with AD. Didn't quite see it in New Orleans. He's on a different platform right now. And he's seen things elevate in the last couple of years. Like, I'm in LA, I'm in the spotlight. They're predicting me to be the great player. I need to go ahead and make that happen. And I think that's the attitude, you know, that he's projecting right now. He's listening to us, talking about how great he should be and what he needs to do. Came back in great shape, stronger body, and preseason, man, he's playing like it's the playoffs.
I know we run out of ways to describe LeBron James. Year 19, Brez, but he just showed again tonight, at least for me, that he put it into another gear where it just shows that he's ready for the season to start.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's October 12th or whatever it is today. It feels like it's March 13th or something to that effect. It feels like to me he really is in late season form. Saw some nice fadeaways from him, active around the basket for sure. Really, you got to steal your some of your phrases, James, the bull in the china shop. I mean, he just was knocking people over, running the court. Love to see everything I saw from LeBron tonight. Guys, he looks ready to go.
You know, Rob, you can tell when you see that highlight. You know, Trudell tweeted something out on Lakers Reporter there in that first quarter when he went on a little 6-0 run. 2 of the finishes in a row were aggressive through contact. Then he gets the steal, and he's out in transition. He gets the layup the other way. And then you just saw that last highlight, the step back for the shot. So he's kind of showing everything, both ends of the floor. He's ready to go.
Yeah, he's definitely ready to go. He's going to the rack, and he's shooting his three. And that's what you want to see. Like, when you watch guys like LeBron, who's playing limited minutes in the preseason, I look to see if they're taking those big, deep breaths, or if they're out of shape, or they're pulling on the shorts. But he looks like he's ready. And so, you know, that was one of the things that we talked about, James, how you use preseason to get in shape sometimes. But you say LeBron spends a lot of time on his body. So that's the thing we don't have to worry about. He's done his dues. He's did what he needs to do to be ready for the season. And I think right now, he said, you can see in his interview the other day, he's like this, I'm bored with the preseason, man. Let's get it over with. So he's in shape and he's ready to go. So I'm good right now.
This is the longest offseason he's had in a while.
Yeah, and it seems like every time they kind of try to write him off, like last year he was on his way to being, you know, one of the candidates for MVP.
MVP, yeah.
This year, I don't even think they had him in double-digit percentage as a candidate.
0%.
Zero.
GMs,
So
yeah.
when you do LeBron like that, he gets real quiet and he lets his play do the work. Not that he's, thinks he can be MVP. I'm sure he thinks he can.